I came here when I was 12 with my father and mother. We visited Disneyland and all that, and I just fell in love with California. Somehow I knew I was going to be here. When you see kids in the ocean and people, they scream and they play and because they get so excited. It's just part of an open space. And I wanted that same kind of feeling that when people come here, they feel at ease and they feel that there's a space that complements what you see or the environment that you're in.
One of the things that I really love about this particular property is it has a bit of an irregular shape. It's kind of a wedge shape, wider along the street at the Coast Highway side, narrower down at the bottom. So that naturally meant that somehow we've got to fit a building onto that maybe responds to the taper of that property. And we have two parts to this building. We have the living unit for the owners, and then we have the living unit for the renter.
Being from Latin America and in Venezuela, Tim used to say whenever we visit Caracas, when we visit my family, he says, no wonder now he understood because everything is open. It's a tropical place. We're only 7 degrees above the equator. So I wanted to imitate some of that. I went through house and I set the parameters for Laguna Beach, contemporary, mid-century, light, whatever, And then I started looking at all the architects that I could see. And I kept going back to Anders.
Some of the architects we interviewed, you got the feeling they were going to build the building they wanted to build instead of maybe the one you wanted to live in. And interviewing with Anders, we got the feeling that he really balanced those things. He's like, I'm gonna build you a great building, but it really has got to come from you what the program is.
It's one thing to hear a client say, I want this many bedrooms, or I need an office or a gym, or these quantitative things. It's really, for us, a more interesting question to look for those qualitative kinds of living experiences. When I come home from work, I want to see this beautiful view and feel like I've arrived in paradise. Or I want to feel energized in the morning when I wake up because of the way the sun comes into my bedroom or my bathroom. And it's the little things about the way we live that I think make for those really transformative experiences. Our challenge was create a building that's as big as it can be, give them as much value for their money, but do it in a way where the quality of the space is as good as it can be and the best value for their money. And I don't think there's anything more important than light. So for me, the best feature of this house is, as we fit it to the site, we developed this opportunity for a central courtyard that could read through both stories, pull light in, and really generate a kind of space that now, it doesn't matter where you are in the house, you can always relate back to where that light is coming from.
This is the first bone structure building in Orange County. A bone structure building is a company from Canada, and they shipped us the entire duplex. It's a prefab way of building houses. All their proprietary posts and connections and engineering, and we assembled it in the field.
They were able to help us figure out how to get the shape and the height and the configuration of the house that we could get approved at the city. How would we actually build that with their parts? A couple of the really interesting details of this house stem from the owner's needs themselves. One of them is, we have dogs, we live at the beach, we love an outdoor lifestyle, we're active, so we need finishes and we need materials that can be easy to take care of and something that looks good in 20 years like it does today. Concrete floors, for example. This slab needed to be here anyway. We've polished it, we've saw cut it, we've treated it in a way that elevates the quality of the concrete from a workaday construction material into something that can become really quite beautiful. And it's never been something that a client has ever regretted. Sometimes they don't trust and they think, oh, I won't like that. But when we do it, they really do love it because it is as carefree as it gets. Another interesting feature was the stairway itself. Now, stairs, in my mind, they're a little bit like the jewelry of a building. It's an opportunity to be expressive in a way that supports some of the bigger ideas in the house. And in this case, this stairway spirals its way up in this double height volume that we have, where we're pulling light in from clear story windows above, skylights above, the windows down at eye level. So this stair had to be something beautiful. With that much light on it, it's gotta look good.
We tried to fit all of the little pieces that we thought were really important into the space. We also really liked that sort of great room concept. Your big island, and people can stand at the island, and then you've got the dining table, people could sit in the living, and everybody can you can get 20 people in here pretty comfortably now.
Invariably, we find our clients live in their kitchen. It's really front and center. It's the gravitational center of the house, and everyone orbits around that space. She loves to cook. Tim loves to make really wonderful espressos. So we knew that kitchen had to be right for them.
I love my kitchen. It took us probably about a year to design that kitchen. Joe was kind of concerned about it. That's a big island, you know? And then I showed him house. Look, there are like 16 chairs in here. We only have 5. It's nothing. We can do this. And so we just did it. We had to make some accommodations, but we got it. It's a kitchen and a hammock. That's all I want. And it's just build everything around. No, it was a little bit more than that, but I would tease him all the time. I says, do not forget my hammock or my bidet. So I go, yeah, I get it.
Ileana likes being in the hammock a lot. She'll be out there reading, or sometimes the dogs will go with the hammock with her.
The deck also is successful because it feels to be a natural extension of the interior living space. The ceiling on the inside does extend out to the outside. Seeing that lid going past the sliding doors is what connects our bodies and our visual mind out to the outside. On the deck, we used a thicker version of that porcelain tile and set it up on pedestals, meaning those tiles are floating, if you will, above the deck surface that's below. And there's a little gap between each of the deck tiles. So when it rains, or if you hose off the deck, whenever there's water, the water finds its way to the cracks between the tiles, drops down to the subdeck below where it's picked up in drains and then taken away to the site drainage system. But what's nice about that is that floor surface remains level from inside to outside. It's uninterrupted. And to the brain, this outdoor space really is the building still. The bedrooms are always an interesting question because sometimes we have clients who want their bedrooms to be very cavernous, vast spaces. Others feel, no, it doesn't need to be big, it's just where I sleep. This isn't the grandest space up there where the bedroom is, but the bedroom, the master bathroom, the space behind the bathroom, which becomes the closet, and the gym space, it's really one large, almost like an apartment. So our thought eternally was, how do we make the spaces we have feel larger? So that bedroom extends right out onto an ocean-facing deck, and on that deck is a beautiful fireplace, and in front of that fireplace is a lovely sitting area. So we've programmed the spaces, we've given them purpose for being there. So now when I'm sitting in my bed, I look through a window or a sliding glass door, I see that extra space that has furniture, that has purpose, has a reason to be there, and then I look beyond that to the ocean. Your room really feels like it goes all the way to the ocean because you feel an extension of your body. You know you can occupy all of those spaces. And in our mind, that subconscious connection to the outside just knits everything together. Your bedroom is now this big.
Each person has like a space that makes them feel whole, I think. It was very important for me that we have an art studio where I could express myself and not having to pick everything up because we have to put stuff in. I became very interested in combining my love of photography and painting and design. Whenever I come from the beach with the dogs and I looked at it, it says, that's our house. That's our place. How cool is that? So we're still kind of like pinch me, you know?